there's a moment in it where you kind of just start tearing up because it just feels like this is what you're supposed to be doing. Everyone's like, I am too scared to do that, or aren't you so scared? And those are the types of questions that I get immediately, and like the answer is like, yeah, but then I did it. There's so many thoughts that I just have after Africa, like the bus is a disaster. Private little tiny beach. I literally got back from Africa like 3 weeks ago. I'm so over this. What am I doing? That should be me. So proud of my bookshelf up here because it has so many amazing fun releases that I cannot wait to get to. Also, look at my cute outfit today. Right? Hi guys. Wow, it's been a hot minute. But hi, welcome back. I am, as you can tell, back in the bus. And look at this beautiful view I have for tonight. I am oh my gosh, wow, I just did 2 huge driving days, but I am in between Wawa and Thunder Bay in Ontario, and I've returned from Africa as well. As a little update for that, the last time I pulled out this camera was to film some crazy wildlife, so it's been a whole adventure. I thought I would take you guys along on the first couple days or week or something like that, back adjusting to bus life, but this is such a great way to start off, honestly. This is just a pull off on the major highway, which there's barely any traffic because it's literally in the middle of nowhere, right on Lake Superior, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I'm so excited. Today I also saw my first moose, and I saw 2 baby mooses? I think it's mooses. 2 or juvenile probably mooses at different times along this drive, and it was the coolest thing ever. Oh my goodness. The wildlife conservation internship in Africa totally prepared me for, I don't know, just driving around and seeing wildlife, but I wasn't expecting to see anything when I came back here. And it was just so amazing, and like I felt even more kind of like inspired and awestruck by it from that experience in Africa. It was just so incredible. I'll probably talk a little bit more about the experience if you guys are interested, but yeah, wow, what an amazing start to the day and start to bus life. This is so crazy. I cannot believe I saw a baby moose. That is so wild, so insane. But yeah, this is my view for tonight, so I'll be falling asleep to the sound of waves and then starting my day working basically tomorrow, which is super cool. But yeah, wow, bus life. Another summer in a big green bus. Let's friggin' go. One thing after a long drive is re-picking up the absolute carnage that appears in the back. This is just so way cool. So cool to just hear the waves. Won't you have a drink with me? We head into town, see what it's about. Barely need a shirt, though the sun has almost set. Make the most of it. I know we will dance and sing. There's a heat wave. So when I was driving up here, I actually repainted the bus before I left my parents' house again to get back on the road, but as you can see, we had a crazy rainstorm. This has never happened before. The paint has never come off like this from rain. The hail must have been worse than what I remembered, because now we've got this kind of situation, which is going to need to be repainted.
Gonna stay in this moment, gonna lay here on the grass. I don't need to feel lonely, I am finally home at last.
Hi everyone, happy Wednesday? Today is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. I haven't filmed the last couple days, which I know is weird because I said I was going to film my whole first week of bus life, but yeah, I don't know, it's been a weird adjustment period and I've been feeling a little bit off. So yeah, I just didn't bother picking up the camera, which isn't a super great excuse, but also just an explanation of where I've been the last 2 days. So I decided that actually probably the adjustment period this time is a little bit longer than I would like it to be, and again, it's literally only been like 4 days. Oh my gosh, it's felt like a month already. No, it's only been 4 days. And so the adjustment period of getting back on the road, back into work especially, it's just been so. Nothing's been super rocky by any means. Like, if things were going badly, then I feel like I would have more of an excuse to feel this way, but that's not true at all. I think it's just been a slower adjustment period, kind of understanding my new routine, trying to make sure, like, I don't know, it's just been a bit of a slower transition period. So I am back, I am here, all is well, and I'm just working today. I did have a really good chat with my boss yesterday. We had a really nice meeting, and I do have a new title coming up in my company, so that's really exciting. He's gonna announce it next week, so that is really good. I'm excited for this new role. It will be kind of like a gradual or slow transition, so the next immediate future isn't super big of a change, which is why I think I don't feel crazy different or crazy excited, but it is a nice little thing to have and to start kind of working on. So yeah, that is my work updates. I am missing Africa very much. I can't believe it's only been a few weeks since I got home, which is crazy. It's not even June yet. It is almost June. It's the end of May still. And planning for Africa, I was so focused on April 11th, which was the date that my flight was leaving. I was just so focused on that day, and everything was leading up to that day, that I never really paid attention to the date that our flight was leaving, or anything that would happen after that day. So it is weird to be thinking about the next few months because I just haven't given them any thought. It was as if nothing was going to exist after that. But yeah, it was definitely a really amazing experience. I'm so happy that I was there and that I went, and I'm very happy to be back in the bus now too. Like I said, just a bit of a weirder adjustment period, I think, but yeah, it should all be fine, I'm sure. I'm just gonna get some more work done right now, and then go on a little walk, which I might take you along for as kind of a midday break. I need to do a little bit of stretching as well, because I did have so many long driving days to start off this journey, and I have done no physical activity since then, so I would like to stretch out my muscles a bit. I did keep my gym membership as well, and so I'm going to, this summer when I'm on the road, keep my eye out for gyms and making sure that I'm prioritizing that for myself. So yeah, that is kind of my plan. I would also like to drive to a trailhead after work today and go for a little hike. My mom got me like hiking poles for Christmas, and I still haven't had a chance to test them out or officially use them yet, so I would like to do that hopefully this afternoon. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day, which is great. And then yeah, we can go on a little hike after work, and I still have a whole afternoon, so I don't want to necessarily wish it away. But yeah, my to-do list, I still have not checked basically anything off, so I definitely have some more things to catch up on. But I hope you guys are having a lovely, wonderful day, and yeah. Weird vibes. Yesterday I I don't know why my voice sounds so weird also. I apologize. Hang on. I also got my nails done on Friday before I left, and look how beautiful these are. I'm so happy with them. But yeah, yesterday I went for a walk, and there was this really cool rig that was driving beside me. It was like almost like the front end of kind of like a heavy duty diesel truck, and on the back they had this modified like crazy over the top like truck bed camper, but it was like super decked out. Like the whole thing was just really cool and huge. Anyway, they were pulling into their site, so I was kind of walking by slowly because I thought I was just gonna say like, well, it's a really cool rig, but as I was walking by there, the man from inside hopped out and was like guiding. I couldn't see who was driving, but was guiding the second person who was driving, like backing into the site, and he was holding the tiniest little teeny baby, like infant baby, with him as he was like directing this person guiding the camper into the spot right on the lake. And I don't know why, for some reason I was just like immediately just started tearing up. Like that was just such a cute image, and again, I know nothing about their lives, I know nothing about who these people are, but the image of that was just so wholesome and cute, and like immediately was just this moment where I was like, that was supposed to be me, but that's not where I am in life right now. And just, I don't know why, it was one of those moments, and I get these not super often, but I do get them sometimes, of like, that was supposed to be me. Like a moment of seeing someone in a completely different position being like, what am I doing? That should be me. And I don't know, obviously there's still an opportunity for that in the future. Not saying that, you know, there's not, but yeah, it was just a really weird feeling. So I think that's what kicked off my like super weirdness yesterday. I was also exhausted. I think getting into this lifestyle again, it does have like a decent amount of anxiety that comes along with it. I've said this quote before, but I really like to use this to kind of remind me that like the challenges that I'm facing now are good challenges, which is this lifestyle. Like I live this way because it gives me all the right kind of problems. You're never going to evade problems by living a certain lifestyle or deciding to live a certain way. Like that's just not the case, and so I like to remind myself like those are the right kind of problems that you are choosing to like experience and have by the opportunity that you get to be here doing this in this teeny house that you built. And yeah, so all good things, but I need to get back to work, and then we'll go on a walk in a couple minutes. I don't know if you can hear that bird, but it sounds a lot like there's this bird in South Africa that's called the grey go-away bird, because when it makes noise it sounds like it's saying go away, go away, and it sounds a little bit similar to this one. It's just making me miss it.
Of all the magic places in the world I've been to, this is where my heart is. Oh, you know it's true. No matter where I go, I'm coming home to you. Been walking down the street so many times, my feet know every brick and stone. Could wear a blindfold.
So much is happening right now. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Let's go for this hike. I did it! This might sound really silly, but I hope it doesn't. I wanted to just recap a little bit about that hike and that experience. Okay, so I'm so proud of myself I did it. Okay, that hike was on the map, but not one of the ones that I was planning on doing. So I wasn't actually planning on stopping there to do this. So I'm taking my boots off. To do this specific hike. But when I was driving in the direction of the hike that I was thinking about doing today, I didn't end up finding the trailhead. So I ended up just turning around and refinding this one, kind of the opposite direction on the road, and I was like, okay, perfect, let's do this. There's no one in the parking lot. Fun. Can't wait. Haven't been out on a hike yet, so excited. Now I should just preface this by saying, and I did kind of say earlier, like this week has been, it's not even been a week, my goodness, it's only been a couple days, but it's been a little bit hard. I don't know why. My moods have just been a little bit all over the place. I haven't been like super duper happy. And yeah, I don't know. I think I need to give myself a little bit of just like grace for not immediately feeling perfect when I'm trying to readjust to this lifestyle. And that is okay. But I was coming to do this hike and I just kind of wanted to make this video to say okay, let's start from the beginning. Growing up, I was super anxious, a very like nervous kid. Into my teens, into now, I've always been super nervous, and the words like anxiety, or like you have anxiety, like that wasn't something that was presented to me when I was younger. It wasn't something that was ever in my kind of mind. It wasn't something that, no one really talked like that. No one really talked about anxiety or being anxious or anything like that. I was always just nervous. There's a car coming. He was just turning around. Okay. And so yeah, and I just want to say, like, this kind of spiel is going to be on my own experience, but also hopefully it will kind of help, I don't know, if any of you are parents and you're kind of nervous about your kids, just know, like, we're fine. You did a great job. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I was talking to my mom the other day and basically just saying, like, wow, I just realized how crazy different my life would have been if we used terms like anxious or anxiety, or I felt like I had a problem that needed to be solved, and I would have been on medication, or just all of these things which just aren't a part of my life, and they totally can be a part of yours or other people's experiences. They just weren't a part of my life. And I remember because recently she brought up the term again, and I totally forgot, but we used to say this all the time, worrywart. It's such a funny little term that I haven't heard in years, but it was something that, like, I was always just called a worrywart. Like, you just worry all the time, and that's just who you are. And we worked through things from such a young age that it just became part of, like, kind of my identity, but also at the same time not something that I based my life around. I just knew that I worried more than other people did, and I just had this concept of, like, other people don't worry like this and you just do, and that's okay. Like, it was always okay, but it also meant that I needed to come up with, I guess, strategies to overcome things from such a young age that I just now kind of know how to deal with it. And it's not always the easiest thing by any means, but it's so amazing that, I don't know, just that she just did such a good job without knowing that that's what she was doing, and I just think that that's really cool. So bringing it back, I was on this hike and I was feeling so uncomfortable, like so terribly uncomfortable, scared, shaky, like not good, and I don't really know why, but sometimes things just feel that way. Things can feel scary and uncomfortable, and I just stopped and I was like, okay, Lord, please be with me right now and help protect me and help me, give me some guidance to kind of continue. Just this feeling of, like, repeating, knowing that I'm safe and that everything is okay and I can keep going, and just the feeling of, like, working through fear. And I think that's what my childhood kind of helped give me, is all of these tools to, like, work through fear, and not to a point where you're putting yourself in a dangerous situation, like, always listen to your gut and all of that stuff. But it was just so incredible that, I don't know, when I finished the hike, I did it, and I feel, like, so proud of myself because I was so uncomfortable and just feeling really bad and just not sure if I should turn around and all of these things, and then I did it, and then I got to the end and I did it. I kept going, and I started replaying scenes of Modern Family, which is my favorite show, and that got me through the last kind of, like, stretch. And I don't know, it was just, it feels so good to have accomplished obviously something so small, but at the same time something, like, so big, and just to know that I can rely on myself again, and it's okay to feel that way, but sometimes you do just need to push through the fear, and sometimes the fear isn't gonna go away, you just need to know how to push through it. Yeah, and I just think that that all comes back to, like, worrying as a kid, and all the ways that that was kind of, like, phrased and taught to me. And it's funny because I even have, in this bus, actually, I have a book called Wemberly Worried, and ever since I was a little kid, my parents always called me Wemberly because I was also that little mouse in that book who worries like crazy about everything, and then everything turns out okay. And yes, sometimes things actually don't turn out okay, but all things work together for good. And just remembering that, like, sometimes nothing is that big, like, it's not this big thing about having anxiety and experiencing panic attacks, but being able to rely on yourself and work through the fear of that, I think, is just so important and special. And I'm just very grateful to my mom for doing whatever she did, even though it was kind of by accident / it wasn't really on purpose, but she just helped me so much when I was little. And sometimes if you need a reminder, like using terms like worrywart, again, I'm not suggesting that it works in every situation, but it's one of those things that really, I think that's what helped me work through a lot of fear and was able to help me do it now as an adult too. And even, like, look at what I'm standing in right now. Everyone's like, I am too scared to do that, or aren't you so scared? And those are the types of questions that I get immediately, and like the answer is like, yeah, but then I did it. So, I don't know. There's not really a whole point to this rant, but I just wanted to say you guys can do anything. Thank you so much for supporting me, and that's so cool. It's so cool that I finished the hike, and I know that sounds so small, but it's so cool that I was scared, but I did it anyway, and it was all okay, and I'm standing in this house that I was so scared to build, and I don't even know how, but it all came together, and like life is okay, and it is okay to feel nervous and scared, and again, always put yourself in a safe situation and trust your gut instincts, but like, it's okay. It's okay. And that is so freaking cool. And I did it. I finished the hike. I'm literally so proud of myself. Okay. I'm gonna head back to camp, and I don't know, maybe do a little bit of a workout when I get back, and make some dinner and clean up the bus, and Wemberley, we're okay. We did it. And sometimes you just like need to give yourself a second. I literally got back from Africa like 3 weeks ago. Not even. What am I doing freaking out? Like, your body has gone through so much. You are okay. You are okay. Good afternoon. It's now just before 1 p.m. and the bus is a disaster. As usually happens very quickly living in a small space, but I'm going to get everything cleaned up. I had a bunch of meetings this morning, so it's been a very busy day. I was even able to work outside a little bit because it's so beautiful today, which is amazing, but I need to get this space cleaned up so I can make some lunch and get outside for a little bit longer before my next meeting, which is at 2. So I have an hour to kind of get myself reorganized. And yeah, it just feels so nice to have such a beautiful day outside. I'm very excited, but we need to get this place cleaned up. Also, look at my cute outfit today. Right?
My heart is all you know, it's true. No matter where I go, I'm coming home to you. Been walking down the street so many times, my feet know every brick and stone. Could wear a blindfold, no matter what I do, I'm coming home to you. And I don't know why, don't know why, don't know why, I'm always feeling homesick. Oh, all I know, all I know, all I know is this is where my heart is. Oh.
Hi everyone. I thought I would give you a little update since we last talked, which was midday today. You could probably tell by those clips that I was a little bit flustered because it was kind of a busy morning, which usually, I mean, it depends on the kind of busy, but you know, it's usually a good thing when things are busy. But yeah, this afternoon got crazy in a stressful way, which wasn't great. I was one of those kind of days where my emotions were a little bit everywhere, to be honest. I had a call with my old boss, who I miss dearly and have not spoken to in a long time, and he was just giving me some advice. We talked about my trip in Africa, and he was, I don't know, giving me a little bit of advice about taking opportunities and expanding your world, and it was all really good things and things that I really appreciate hearing from people, and I just really enjoyed that conversation. But at the same time, that I think mixed with everything else just felt really overwhelming. And yeah, I have a lot of things that I didn't get done on my to-do list, which now I have to do tomorrow, and usually it's okay when it's just affecting me, but these are things that my boss needs me to do, but they're so time consuming that I just couldn't get them done. And I just decided, like, whatever, I'm done working. I didn't get out for my afternoon walk, which honestly I think also made a really big difference. Like, I was sitting down working so much for so much of the day, except that little break that I took to clean everything up, which you saw, and then make some quick lunch. And I think that actually really affected things as well. So it's good to know that I need more exercise. But yeah, it got to the end of the day and I was like, I'm so over this. Like, I was so frustrated, and things get to me emotionally pretty quickly. I don't get super emotional all the time, but like when things build up, the way that I react first is just like emotional. So yeah, I was just not having it by the end of the day. But that's okay, we're gonna get it done tomorrow. I ended up going for a really long walk and just being annoyed and angry and walking, which is good. That always helps. I found this kind of private little trail out to like the a little like viewing of the lake, I guess, like a private little tiny beach, which was just beautiful. And I found it this morning. I was really happy to go back there. And then I came back and I was like, you know what, fuck it, basically. I'm gonna turn my Starlink back on and I'm going to do a full yoga practice. And I rolled out my mat outside. I didn't care if people were around. Like, I was being a little bit mindful, but like no one was around, so I did not care. And did a whole 25-minute boho beautiful yoga practice, and it was so amazing. It's one of those times, I don't know if you guys practice yoga, but I do have a couple yoga practices, or my really good yoga practices, where there's a moment in it where you kind of just start tearing up because it just feels like this is what you're supposed to be doing. And I had that this time, which was just so nice. It honestly helped so much. And yeah, so after that I kind of came back in here, got things cleaned up. Again, always being in a small space, and don't get me wrong, I absolutely love my space, but I am somewhat cognizant of the fact that like when everything is all in the same space, it can get like dirty and messy and unorganized, and that probably does affect me in the background even if I don't always realize it. So it's also just adjusting to the routine of like constant cleaning. When you're living in a small space, you are cleaning all the time, so it's probably just a bit of adjusting to that as well. But anyway, I finished my yoga practice and I started Powerless by Lauren Roberts, which I wasn't planning on starting a new book today, but it just kind of was one of those things where I felt like, you know what, I'm gonna walk down to the beach, I'm going to start a new book, one that I feel like, again, I'm so proud of my bookshelf up here because it has so many amazing fun releases that I cannot wait to get to, one of which was Powerless. And I just read the first page or the jacket of a couple different ones, and this was the one that just stuck out to me, and I was just like, you know, I need to start it. And it was so nice. I watched the little goose because all the goslings are out now and they're so cute and silly. So I got to see them, and I just hung out right by the water and started my book. And you know when you have a book that is hitting because it immediately feels like a movie in your head? So far, like, I'm literally only, I don't know, a few pages in and I'm already like, yeah, this is gonna be good, which is great. I just needed that. I really needed that. So yeah, that is my update. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I think I should feed the girls. They are with me again on this trip. Ignore my skirt right there. The girls are with me on this trip, my geckos, so I'm going to feed them at some point, possibly right now. The skirt is sitting here because, well, this was what I was wearing all day today, but somehow, and I don't even know how possibly, but I got some splatters of green juice on the front, which, how did I possibly do that? I don't even know. But anyway, I'm going to give it a little wash and a soak in the sink, so I should probably do that too. And then I have leftovers from yesterday. I made this really good dinner yesterday. It was rice with asparagus and then this hot honey coated salmon with an avocado like salsa over the top, and it was so yummy. So I'm gonna heat up leftovers for that and have that for dinner, and yeah, hang out, probably watch a show. I have really been enjoying my evenings in general, and I downloaded some stuff on Netflix, so I'm gonna have myself a little night to watch my show, get some chores done and whatnot, and yeah, just feel decompressed from that day. There's so many thoughts that I just have after Africa, like so many things where I'm like, I hate that I'm back to the routine of like waiting for Friday, being excited for the weekend, waiting for the day to be over, like wishing for time to go by, being bored, being stressed in a way that I don't find fun. Like, it's just a lot of indications of moving on, and I just don't know how to move on yet. So I think all of that probably is still here, still kicking. So yeah, let's get some chores done and make some food. I will probably talk to you guys in the morning.